Hi, my name is Luca. I'm one of the partners at Simultools and creator of SimTiles. Today we're going through an overview of what SimTiles is and what it does. SimTiles is a software which creates night tiles overlays and or seasonal tiles for existing photoreal sceneries usable on X-Plane. If you have a photoreal scenery, a compliant X-Plane photoreal scenery, either you purchased one, you downloaded one from the net, or indeed you created one using one of the amazing open source tools such as Ortho4XP, you can then use SimTiles to create night tiles for night lighting and or seasonal textures for winter, snowy seasonal looks. Let's fire up SimTiles. So let's launch it. There it is. SimTiles consists of two windows: the console, which is where it prints informations, real-time infos of what it's doing, and the actual main program itself. The first three tabs are used to create tiles and choose what you create. That's basically the main gut of the software, and that's one of the two manners in which you can use SimTiles. The second manner is as a change seasons tool. So assuming that you pre-created seasonal tiles on existing photoreal sceneries, you just launch SimTiles, navigate to the last tab, and enable seasonal tiles for existing sceneries or disable seasonal tiles. Anything that SimTiles does is non-destructive and fully procedural, so anytime you enable or disable anything using any of the green and red buttons, you're not destroying or deleting or erasing anything. The idea is that it's a first in X-Plane. You have your standard photoreal textures, your summary look. You open up SimTiles, you press enable seasonal tiles, and boom, now you have winter. So you effectively change the season in X-Plane, which is not any other. I think no other software do that just yet. The way that it works, you have under preset elevation thresholds. The idea is that SimTiles uses different rule presets, more or less aggressive rules depending on tiles elevation of sea level. So if tiles are at ground level, would use one rule. If they are on slightly above sea level, around hilly, so if they are kind of like hilly conditions, it will use a different rule, and if it's a mountainous condition, so it's kind of higher above sea level, we use a different rule. The idea is that you under night conditions you have stronger night lighting if you are looking at a city, and as you go higher and higher, you basically have less and less night lighting until you basically you lose night lighting altogether when you go above a certain threshold in meters in height. Similarly, you have more or less aggressive snow levels, so slightly less snow on the ground, and you end up having more and more kind of whitish snow feeling as tiles go above a certain threshold. And this is controlled by using color presets as well as rule presets. SimTiles analyzes input tile colors and filters colors, and it creates masks and removes colors and edits images, and it's basically it's a color-driven software. Coupled with the elevation height, it basically filters colors differently depending on the tile elevation. But ultimately, what it does, it manipulates colors of an image to create either a pseudo night lighting or a seasonal kind of whitish, snowy looking image. It's multi-core and it's quite optimized, so it can run one tile generation, a 4K image in a number of seconds, and this is quite useful as these sort of operations tend to be pretty slow because of the sheer number of tiles. You can have hundreds of tiles for each quadrant, for each zoom level 17, for instance, quadrant. So it's quite important. The software is quite speedy and runs the process as quickly as it can. It's fully customizable. Scripting rules can be edited, color rules can be edited. It's fully procedural, non-destructive. If you make a mistake, you can delete some of your generated tiles, and SimTiles would just find any missing one and create them again at the next go. It's pretty flexible and it works really, really well. The way that it creates tiles is by using colors and rules presets. Color presets are variables in the form of colors and numbers which drive the rule presets. How these are used is identified when we look at rule presets, and these are a script. What you see here is a pseudo scripting language based on image magic. Any line which begins with a hash is a comment, and every rule is commented out, so it's quite clear. Should be pretty clear what any of these color or amount or blur numbers do by looking at the comment section of each rule preset and how they're affected. The way that rules work, which is the guts of SimTiles, is it's an engine and it's a top-down script, and the file is read vertically. So the first line, the first input, is the actual source image. So each line has an output which is fed as an input to the following line, like so, and ultimately the last output is the image which is saved to disk. Each line has been commented. So for instance, this line here, which is this pseudo language, image magic based language, the line above, it tells you as a comment, more or less in a brief way, what it does. So remove brown from image, and I've also added here some suggestions like best choices, and that's the RGB value. Anyway, remove brown from the image, so you see that this line here, you expect it to do that. So it's using this data to these functions, these parameters to do that, and this is image magic type of command prompt script language. You can look that up. Luckily, it doesn't need to get that complicated. If you look at the actual presets which come shipped with bundled with SimTiles, we have pretty decent and pretty good templates for a number of scenarios. We have snow heavy and snow light for a different number of zoom levels, and you can expand upon these and make your own. And for night lighting, you have different night conditions for different zoom levels. And based on feedback from hundreds of users, it looks like these seem to accommodate a very large range of scenarios. So it's a pretty good number of templates it comes bundled with. So to recap, on the creation process, it can be used very intuitively, very quickly, without getting into the more advanced parts, by simply looking at the presets, finding some options and preferred resolution and type of presets, and choosing one from the list and running a preview and then basically running the process. Or for more advanced users, you can basically go and change rules and make your own. I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.